remote highlands of Nepal, where towering cliffs pierce the clouds and the air grows thin, an ancient tradition unfolds. Twice a year, a group of men prepares to perform one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, harvesting mad honey. This rare reddish nectar is known not just for its intense flavor, but for its hallucinogenic effects and powerful medicinal properties. But reaching it requires an extraordinary act of bravery. The hives that contain this honey are guarded by the largest bees on Earth, and they hang precariously from sheer cliffs hundreds of meters above the forest floor. The men who collect it must scale these cliffs using nothing but handmade bamboo ladders, enduring hundreds of stings, all for a harvest that sustains their community and their culture. For centuries, this tradition has been passed down through generations. The Gurung people of Nepal, known as some of the last mad honey hunters on Earth, rely on it not only for income, but for the preservation of their cultural identity. Mad honey has been used for thousands of years as a natural medicine. Local healers believe it helps alleviate joint pain, fatigue, high blood pressure, and even boosts vitality. In small doses, it induces a calming, euphoric effect. In larger amounts, it can cause nausea, blurred vision, and disorientation. Despite the risks, this honey has become highly sought after, fetching up to $500 per kilogram on the international market. For the Gurung, it's a lifeline, but one that comes with extreme peril. Preparation begins weeks in advance. The entire community takes part. Bamboo is gathered from the forests and cut into long poles, which are then woven into flexible yet sturdy ladders. Ropes made from forest fibers are tested and reinforced. Tools are sharpened, baskets are prepared to collect the honeycomb. But only the most experienced men are chosen for the actual hunt. These climbers are trained from youth, learning the craft through years of observation and gradual participation. Each harvest is timed with the blooming of wild rhododendron flowers, whose nectar contains the toxin that gives mad honey its powerful properties. The journey begins before dawn. The hunters must first trek through dense forest and steep terrain, carrying heavy gear on their backs. As they approach the cliffs, they face their first challenge, crossing freezing, fast-moving rivers using only makeshift bridges. Crafted from trees they cut themselves. There are no ropes or railings, only balance, experience, and trust in one another. Upon reaching the cliffs, they begin anchoring the ladders. These bamboo constructions must support the full weight of the climber and the honeycomb. Everything must be secured with precision. The air is filled with tension. Everyone knows that one misstep could be fatal. At the base of the cliff, fires are lit. Smoke is a crucial tool. It is the only way to calm the giant Himalayan bees, which are known for their aggressive behavior and painful stings. As thick clouds rise toward the hives, the bees become disoriented. Their ability to communicate weakens. Many flee the area. Those that remain are slower, more confused, but still dangerous. Meanwhile, the hunters begin their descent down the cliff face. Barefoot, with nothing but a rope around their waist and a stick in their hand, they slowly lower themselves toward the hives, often hundreds of feet above the ground. Once within reach, the hunter uses a long wooden pole to dislodge pieces of the honeycomb. Each movement must be slow and precise. If the comb breaks, the honey is lost. If the rope slips, the basket falls. Or worse, the climber could fall. As the combs are cut free, they are lowered in baskets to the ground crew, who carefully collect the dripping red honey. Every drop is precious. Every harvest is a test of patience, endurance, and absolute focus. Despite the smoke, the hunters are still stung repeatedly, but they remain calm, trained to ignore the pain. For the Gurung people, mad honey is more than a product. It supports their economy, funds their children's education, and brings international recognition to their village. But beyond that, it is a symbol of resilience, of living in balance with the natural world. The community treats the bees with respect. They never take more honey than necessary. They ensure the hives can recover. This traditional conservation approach has helped preserve local bee populations for generations. But today, this delicate balance is under threat. Fewer young people are choosing to become honey hunters. The dangers are real, the rewards uncertain. As tourism and outside influence grow, many younger villagers are seeking safer jobs in cities or abroad. At the same time, climate change is impacting the flowering cycle of rhododendrons, pushing the bees further up into inaccessible terrain. The cliffs are becoming more dangerous to climb. The weather is less predictable. Some worry that the tradition of mad honey hunting may disappear entirely within a generation. Meanwhile, interest in mad honey is growing around the world. In recent years, it has been promoted online as a natural psychedelic. Videos show users experiencing intense hallucinations or euphoric highs. Some seek it for spiritual reasons, others chase it out of curiosity. But many do not understand the risks. In uncontrolled doses, mad honey can be harmful, even fatal. Cases of poisoning have been reported in several countries, often by individuals unaware of the honey's potency. This rising demand puts pressure on hunters to harvest more, sometimes at the cost of safety or sustainability. Elsewhere, honey is produced in controlled environments. In modern beekeeping farms, honey is collected from managed hives using frames, smoke tools, and mechanical extractors. Protective suits shield the beekeeper from stings. Machines filter and bottle honey in sterile facilities. It is efficient, scalable, and safe. But even modern farms are facing challenges. Around the world, bee populations are in decline. A phenomenon known as colony collapse disorder has been devastating hives in Europe, North America, and beyond. Scientists point to pesticide use, habitat destruction, monoculture farming, and disease as the primary causes. Bees are essential to global agriculture. Without them, crops fail, ecosystems suffer, the food chain is disrupted. Some farms are adopting organic methods, planting bee-friendly crops, and using selective breeding to create disease-resistant colonies. But these efforts alone may not be enough. In contrast to industrial farming, the Gurung honey hunters rely on ancient ecological knowledge. They understand when to harvest and when to leave the bees alone. They observe nature's cycles, and they take only what the land can give. Their methods may be dangerous, but they are rooted in respect for the environment. Perhaps in their tradition lies a lesson for modern agriculture. To protect what sustains us, we must first learn to live in harmony with it. Mad honey is more than a rare delicacy. It is the product of a centuries-old relationship between humans and nature, one that demands courage, knowledge, and deep humility. Each harvest is a reminder of how fragile this balance truly is, a reminder that the most valuable things in life are often the hardest to reach. As we look to the future of food, farming, and environmental protection, we must ask ourselves, how much are we willing to risk to preserve the wisdom of the past? If you believe stories like this deserve to be seen and shared, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Infinite Farming, where we explore the most extraordinary stories from the natural world.